because of the fact that you have an ex that was military. So you're grandfathered in. If you put in time supporting anybody military, you're as good as military in this show. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Right?
Right
Those
on.
that support us
Yeah,
are few and
that's-
far. You guys at home, this is the Veterans to Military Comedy Show. I'm your host, Linda Marcus Smith. Not because I'm a diva. I just have 3 names. Forget about it. I have a couple of wonderfully funny new people to this show, but not new to comedy. We have a military veteran here, Bert Berman. He's waiting to go on after I do my set. And then we have a lady that we were just discussing who has an ex that was military. So we're going to have her come back and do the Bob Hope guest spot and honor her for her support of the service. And that's Jana Lynn. So there you go. That's the lineup for you folks at home watching in the comfort of your own home. Do you have your clothes on? No, I have a don't ask, don't tell policy. I shouldn't have asked that question. That really wasn't clean, was it now? Have fun. Just enjoy your time, your family, gather around. It's going to be clean comedy. So I would like to start off by doing my comedy for you in a minute. But first, I have to mention my one and only sponsor. When you have one sponsor, you better remember to mention them. My sponsor is the Veterans of Comedy. They're an organization whose motto is to leave no laugh behind. And they are prior military veterans who are doing comedy. And so anytime you're looking for clean comedy or not, around the world or in the country, go to the veteransofcomedy.com page and look at all the videos and pick your favorite. I'm just teasing. Pick your favorite. Okay, so I'll start in with my comedy, okay? And we'll get that out of the way and bring up my 2 other comics. A little bit about me, or 5 or 7 minutes, whatever. I don't know about you guys. Anybody from the East Coast? Anybody been to the East Coast, Jana? Okay, yeah. Now we're talking. See, this is crowd work, you guys. This is what's basic crowd work. I just won at crowd work. I like to tell New Yorkers I'm from the Upper West Side. And they're like, we don't smile and chat like you. No. And I go, and you don't sound like you're, no, I'm from the Upper West Side of the country, a little place called Oregon. It's a nice neighborhood. Where I'm from. It rains so much there. You have no idea. Other than that, it's just like the New York Upper West Side. It rains so much. It's like God just said, just do it. You know, like the Nike slogan, just do the rain 24/7. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I got into a little bit of a tiff with a barista. You know, they have these things in Portland, Oregon called hipster baristas. Like at Starbucks and on every block, at every coffee shop. I got into a quarrel with one of them because I thought he was giving me a compliment. He said, "You look just like Marilyn." And I was like, wow, the blonde hair really is work. And she's so, and he goes, no, it's raining again. Your makeup's dripping down your face. I mean Manson, Marilyn Manson. Oh, I said, Siri, get me waterproof makeup, stat. Oh my gosh. I think Portland, Oregon is where the old musical group, the Carpenters, developed the song "Rainy Days and Mondays Always Get Me Down." That must be where that song came from, because I'm telling you, my whole childhood was nothing but rainy days and Mondays, trying to stay happy when it's raining. Oh, I had to get the heck out of Portland, Oregon. I'm telling you. But guess what? I I just had a birthday. Can you believe it? You can still have a birthday. I'm still having birthdays. I just turned 21 for the third time. Plus, none of your business. That's what. Plus, none of your business. I officially turned. Why don't you change the subject years old, Bert? Is Bert frozen, or does he not like my comedy? I think he's frozen. Yeah, he's scared. I like to dress up and walk around town and get noticed. I wear these cute dresses, cute shoes, kind of like what Jana Lynn wears. And because I'm always turning 21, of course I get them at Forever 21. That's where you get the cute clothes. I know you young girls' tricks. When I went in there, they said to me, "You can't shop here. You're too mature." And I said, "Oh, it says Forever 21. They said, "Well, we didn't know it was going to last that long." Whatever. Yeah. I like getting my clothes there. The last time I was there, the cashier she kind of looked like Jan Lynn, and she leaned in and she said, "Excuse me, don't you think you're a little mature for those cute clothes?" And I said, "You know what, honey, you're right." And I marched right out the store and back in 2 more times just so that the math would add up for her. I know it's hard to believe this, but in the 1970s, I was born in the 50s. In the 70s, I became a wanted woman. And I found it out at the post office. Wait until you hear this one. I found out I was wanted at the post office. You don't want to find out you're wanted at the post office, you guys. His eyes were following me, and he pointed and he said he wanted me. Okay, it was the poster of Uncle Sam. I'm a boomer. Do you think we were taught to say no to a man? I went in the army and they took me. I'm part Jewish. Military intelligence decided to put me smack dab in the middle of Germany. Take that, Hitler. Should have checked my record closer. I had a lot of fun, though, in Germany in the military, a lot of fun. It was during Vietnam, which is not funny or fun. Well, our men were protecting, and some women were protecting our rights in the rice fields of Vietnam. I was mostly over in Germany, yodeling in the Alps on a good day. That's what I did. I counted money. I'm Jewish. You know what the problem is? Half of the time you have to count the money away from you. This goes against everything I was taught. Yeah, I was wanted, so I joined the army. I had a lot of fun. I learned a lot in the military. I can now make a perfect bed, can bounce a quarter off my bed. Yeah, hello, America's Got Talent. Boy, have I got a talent for you. But now I live in Vegas, and in Vegas, my comedy career has been taking off, like through the roof, you guys, through the roof. Okay, at bus stops, whatever, I'll take it. And at a bus stop, I made a little sad lady laugh. She was sad, and I fixed her. And she had the nerve to turn around and tell me to get a day job. Are you kidding me? I hadn't had one since 1996, thanks to a drunk driver. Oh my gosh, I haven't had it. But now I got me a avocation. You know, I don't want to have a vocation at this point, just a little bit of fun. I go walking up and down the Vegas Boulevard just to see if I can get cars to honk at me at this age in my Forever 21 clothes. I don't know, it's fun. I have fun. You know, when they look at me, sometimes they think I might be 1 times 21, but when they see my face, It's all over. They know it's 3 times 21 plus, none of my business either. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Now I'm going to turn over the show. Trust me, I'm sick of hearing me. I'm not one of those ego driven comics. I'm tired of me. Okay. It's been 7 decades. I'd like to bring to the stage somebody new to this venue, and I hope he comes back forever. He's got a great sense of humor. I can tell you that already from watching him, and he's got a lot of patience because I would have thrown a phone through a computer a few minutes ago. He had a little difficulty and he made it through it without losing his cool. So I like him for that too. We have a road comic. He's traveling on the road, stopping to do this while he's traveling. Most recently out of the Las Vegas comedy scene. Welcome to the stage for the funniness of Bert Berman. I have to look to get it right. Bert Berman, yay!
Hey. Hello, everybody out there. I always wanted to pretend I was in heaven, right? Now with the lights in here, I can definitely do that. It looks like I'm in heaven, and I didn't even have to make the commitment to get there. You know? I'm here in the flesh, and a representation of heaven behind me. Anyhow, let's get serious here. Do you guys like pumpkin spice stuff? You know, pumpkin spice coffee and all the, yeah, we just had the season for that. And a couple weeks ago, I picked up pumpkin spice almonds, right? And hopped in the car, you know, driving to a show. And when I looked down, and I had eaten pretty much the whole pound of those pumpkin spice almonds on that drive. Yeah, that's a lot. I nutmegged myself. What happened, right? And I thought, oh boy, I was gonna sprinkle cinnamon. So I pulled over, you know, and found a gas station, right? And I was in there doing the spice curls. It was not good. And I'll tell you, it wasn't Montezuma's revenge, but it was pumpkin spite. And so while I'm there, you know, I've already taken a seat. I look on the cell phone to figure out what almonds did to me, you know? And the first result that popped up was pumpkin spice toilet paper. And that exists. But as I understand it, your digestion is not supposed to work in a loop, all right? It shouldn't be your entrance and your exit strategy, pumpkin spice, you see? It's like I wasn't bargaining for a my strange addiction kind of you know, experience. Wasn't looking for that. It wasn't harvest season. It was fertilizer week, y'all. Yeah, it was a real cornucopia. I'll tell you. Yeah, they say that the reason that the pumpkin spice people like it so much and nostalgia works is that their fall smells like wet leaves, right? And that kind of linked to your childhood and your youth. But in my case, it was wet and it fell, then it smelled and I left. Whole different thing. Yeah, I got the order mixed up on that. All right. Have we talked enough about that? Hope so. All right.
Way too much.
I got offered something at my last job, and I couldn't figure out what it was. It was 2 words in the orientation: pet insurance. Pet insurance. But I grew up on a farm. I don't know what it's for. You know, I had to start looking it up. I just sat there. I said, well, was this in case I get bit by a llama or a goose? You know, that's murder hornets, killer bees, cat scratch fever, monkeypox. What's it covering me from, huh? You know, I didn't know what to do with pet insurance, but it ended up pretty good. I'm mostly in it for like free dog enemas. Yeah, that was the best feature. It's like the old saying, and I'm sure y'all have heard it before, keep man's best friend close, but the enemy's closer. Yeah, people are in denial about the way the pooch smells sometimes. I'm in that club, right? That's, yeah. My pooch just has no consequences. I'm the one feeding it, so you know it's my fault in the end, right? Yeah, a lot of these things. like the pet insurance ends up being good because some of the caveats that it have. They have an emergency line, right? And that's, I called it up. They said, "What's your emergency?" I said, "My Dalmatian spotting." Let that one sink in for a second,
I
right?
just got it.
Yeah, that one's a slow burner right there. Oh, boy. Man, I'll tell you what you don't want to feed your pet. That's McDonald's, right? You feed your pet fast food, you're asking for it, right? I saw an interesting initiative from a company. You guys know Crocs, the company that makes those plastic shoes? Yeah, they have an initiative, and they said their process and product is going to be 100% bio by 2023. And then, not to be outdone, McDonald's said our food's going to be 100% bio by 2033. Just 11 more years, so you don't feel like you walk out of there like a violated seagull, like a goat eating none but tin cans. It's just, like the best thing about the McDonald's, man, is like that constantly broken milkshake machine, because it saves you from yourself, right? And I'm a particular culprit. They have a website now where you can go and look at that. You can see whether the machine works at the McDonald's you're going to or not. And that wasn't made by McDonald's. That was made by people who knew what was going on with McDonald's. That's a crazy thought and a reality. I guess I'll end on this. Veterans Day, I went and got my free meals, right? That was wonderful, right? Ate like a king for a day. But I did a little research going into it, and what it looked like is that I just had a morbidly obese checklist. I just had like 20 restaurants and all the deals right there, and I'm ticking them off. And anyone looking from the outside would be like, "This guy, is he trying?" Like it's like a manifesto for free food. I can't imagine what people thought when they saw that. They're like, he goes around the city doing this, and they don't think it's one day a year. They think this is me. They think this is a regular thing. No, guys, I pick out one day a year, in every other Wednesday. But anyhow, my name is Bert Verman. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bert Verman. That was awesome. Thank you so much. Keep coming back. It's like AA. It works. Oh my gosh. And now for the lady of the day. Oh my gosh, she gets to be the headliner because she's the last one on. So I'd like to welcome to the stage somebody from Northern California. They call it NorCal. And she's a very sweet person. You're gonna love her. I just met her and I can vouch for her. She's so sweet and she's so nice and funny and supportive. So let's hear her comedy. I can't wait to hear her clean comedy. Welcome to the stage, all the way from Northern California, Jana Lynn. Put up for you guys. Yay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What a great introduction. Thank you for hosting us. All to the host, what a sweetheart, Linda. And I'm glad you got out of the rain, my goodness. And thank you, Bert, for your awesome rendition too. So I'm gonna start with this. My sister was saying something, and I said to her, "Stop bothering me with your tiny, high-pitched voice, you nitwit." You know that like sunsets, they have a song. They go like this: "I'm so pretty." It's funny. I don't know if you guys ever knew that there's an advantage to having just one tooth. You save so much time because you don't have to floss. Well, that's unless the orthodontics puts a permanent retainer, and that would just kill the whole thing. But I lived in the country for a little while I was married to my sailor guy. He became a sailor, and it didn't work out after that. Unfortunately, we went separate ways. But when we were in the countryside, as we drove in, and I showed him where I got the apartment in this very remote location, about 10 minutes from anywhere. I was like, don't you think it's like the hills are alive with the sound of music? And he was like, no, I was thinking more of this version. The hills have eyes. And I'm like, what's that? And he told me all about it. Ooh, scarred me for life. But it's funny, after that, we had a few good times in the Bay Area, and that's where I started comedy about 4 years ago, 3-4 years ago. So I'm the one who cleans up after all the other comics because I'm the clean one. So it's kind of a conundrum that I come from the Bay and I'm a clean comic. But I actually got to live on a boat, and I've learned how to sail myself with another guy that I started dating after the divorce. And I learned that boats float and hope floats, and so did I. But I will tell you, I'm not a witch, although I do float and on a wooden boat. I didn't turn anyone into a newt, and they didn't have to get better. But anyway, as you can tell, I had 2 brothers. So if Doctor Who's world collided with Alice in Wonderland, I don't know if you know what a Dalek is. Dalek. It's spelled Dalek, but it's Dalek. So that's like a little robot that says exterminate. It's really not that great. Anyway, if it was the White Rabbit from Alice in Wonderland, it would say, isolate. So there was a highway robbery, and guess what? It was in 2021, and they couldn't tell who it was because they had masks. So if you're a zombie and you're an engineer, what kind of thing do you run? Trains. And if you're a zombie and you're a hairdresser, what do you like to do most? Braids. If I were the composer of the jazzy music for unemployment, because us comics know that music pretty well, I would fact with anyone, but I would be quietly infamous. So I like Poison Ivy. As a Californian, I like Poison Ivy way better than Harlequin because I go green.
Because why?
Because I go green. So, Batman and Spider-Man are pretty cool. Batman, though, knows how to save his money, and that's why he's rich. He's Bruce Wayne. So he had his little nephew create his theme song for free. He was just going around going na 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 na, and he's like, Batman. Whereas Spider-Man did pay $1 for his song to some Asian lady on the street, and she was just like, Spider-Man, Spider-Man does whatever a spider can. We love you, Spider-Man. Now, the funny thing about Spider-Man is that after a long night of fighting crime, he will know again after he goes to bed when to get up and go help fight crime because he has that spidey sense, right? Well, Batman's the Dark Knight, and he likes to go out at night all the time, but when he gets back home, he has to have that huge spotlight in his eyes to wake him up. Now there's a thing called there were two guys way back when, and they did Abbott and Costello's Who's On First. Now this was something that nobody knew about, that there was an actual British spin-off that never aired, and it's called Doctor Who's On First. Watkins on second, Sherlock's on home, and Ricky Gervais is on shortstop with I Don't Freaking Care. So if let me check the time. I don't know how much I've done. Are you okay?
I'm good. You can go a couple more minutes if you want.
Sure.
Doing great.
Awesome. So I don't know if you know anything about Wakanda, but in Wakanda, it's where the Black Panther is. And he also has a tribe there, and they're really cool. But they're like really highly sophisticated, and only certain people can go there, and they have to get really vetted. So you guys know that, being veterans.
Totally.
Well, I don't think any veterans went there, but I know that like 3 Disney princesses have been there. So the first one is, let's see, the one from Princess and the Frog. She could go there because that's her native land, Tiana. And then Nala could go there. She's the princess of the animals. She's from Africa as well. Now the third princess, you might disagree with me, but I saw her there. Her name's Snow White. Now she went there because there's all the Wakandans, but there's Snow White. There she is. So there's this little what do you call a doll that is a mermaid? A dolly fin. And I don't understand Beauty and Beauty and the Beast, because she says this. She says, "There's something sweet and almost kind, but he was mean and he was coarse and unrefined, and now he's dear and so unsure. I wonder why I didn't see it there before." Well, he was mean and he was coarse and unrefined, girl. So the best part about waking up for me is the natural high. So there's no Folgers in my cup. But I'm so very grateful to be here, and thank you so much for having me.
Oh my gosh, Jana Lynn, what a triple threat you are, singing and jokes and oh my
Thank you.
gosh, something else. You're a triple threat. Oh my gosh. Bert Verman, oh my gosh, you were so funny as well. Both of you hit me up with your avails, so I know when you want to come back on. I'm going to stop the live stream. You guys, thank you at home for watching, and please share it with anybody, military, veteran, first responders, anybody hurting. So that's basically everybody. Just share it with everybody. Thanks, you guys.